What's up YouTube? Chris Bandy here. In this video, we're going to learn about fully diminished seventh chords. A fully diminished seventh chord is a seventh chord with a diminished triad on the root and a note that is a diminished seventh above the root. An easy way to build this chord is to stack a minor third, then another minor third, then another minor third. Let's build a few of these chords. Suppose that the root is F. How would we build a fully diminished seventh chord? Pause the video if you want to figure it out. All we have to do is stack 3 minor thirds. 1, 2, 3. Now suppose that the root is C sharp. How would we build a fully diminished seventh chord? Pause the video if you want to figure it out. All we have to do is stack 3 minor thirds. 1, 2, 3. Now suppose that the root is A flat. How would we build a fully diminished seventh chord? Pause the video if you want to figure it out. All we have to do is stack 3 minor thirds. 1, 2, 3. The Roman numeral symbol for fully diminished quality is a circle. For example, suppose we're in the key of C minor, and we have a B fully diminished seventh chord. Since this chord is built on scale degree 7, we write a lowercase Roman numeral 7 and then the circle. And since the root, B, is in the bass, this chord is in root position, which means for the inversion symbol, we just write 7. If D is in the bass, we keep the lowercase 7 and the circle. But since the chordal third is in the bass, the chord is in first inversion, so we write 6-5 for the inversion symbol. If F is in the bass, then the chordal fifth is in the bass, so the chord is in second inversion, and we write 4-3 for the inversion symbol. If A flat is in the bass, then the chordal seventh is in the bass, so the chord is in third inversion, and we write 4-2 for the inversion symbol. Where do fully diminished seventh chords appear in various keys? They only appear in one place, as the seventh chord built on the leading tone of a minor key. For example, in the key of E minor, the leading tone is D sharp. So if we build a seventh chord on D sharp, and we stay in the key of E minor, the notes we get are D sharp, F sharp, A, and C. Since we've got a stack of 3 minor thirds, we've got a fully diminished seventh chord. So we should label this chord as 7 fully diminished 7. What are the primary functions of a fully diminished seventh chord? Well, since a fully diminished seventh chord appears only as the leading tone in a minor key, the main primary function is to move up by half step to tonic. For example, in the key of F minor, if we have a 7 fully diminished 7, it can go straight to tonic. This has smooth voice leading. Every voice moves by only a step. This progression can be delayed if we go to dominant first. For example, if only the D flat moves down to C, then the resulting chord is a 5-6-5. So you could have a progression like this. 7 fully diminished 7 can also go to tonic in a major key, but of course, the chordal seventh of the 7 fully diminished 7 is going to be a chromatic tone. A fully diminished seventh chord can also be used to embellish a major or minor chord that has the same root. In the following example, we get a major 5 chord followed by a 5 diminished 7, which then goes back to a major 5. Because of octave equivalence, if you transpose any chord up or down by an octave, you end up with the same pitch classes that you started with. But a fully diminished seventh chord is a radially symmetric chord, which means you can transpose it by other intervals and still end up with the same pitch classes you started with. For example, suppose we have D fully diminished 7. If we transpose it up by a minor third, we end up with F fully diminished 7. Now, of course, the spellings of the notes are different than before, but we still have the same 4 pitch classes that we had earlier. The same thing happens if you transpose any fully diminished seventh chord up by a tritone or up by a major sixth.